On this edition of Rabble Rouser, let's talk about climate change. And there is so much to talk about, especially since we're all choking off the ash and smoke for the last 30 days from the worst wildfires in the history of the state. And not only in California, but all over the western United States. And let me tell you, it's not just because we didn't trim some trees and do some raking, ladies and gentlemen. It is because we have a international and worldwide crisis facing us, and quite frankly, we are doing nothing but sticking our heads in the sand. Not all of us, but too many of our citizens don't even believe that climate change exists. That is rich, ladies and gentlemen. I guess smoking doesn't cause cancer either, right? Well, it does. And as a matter of fact, Big Oil has taken a page out of the Big Tobacco playbook and hired a few scientists, threw a few $1 trillion around, and have tried to go ahead and, make believe it's not true. It's not real. Smoking doesn't cause cancer. Carbon dioxide getting pumped into our air and carbon emissions don't cause climate change. Well, it does. It's a heat trapping gas, and it's scientifically proven. Exxon knew about this back in the 1970s, and they decided to squash it. That's right. It's bad for business, ladies and gentlemen. Killing people, though, is. Let's privatize the profits and socialize the costs, everyone. That's what we have. They get the oil and the money, and we get the lung cancer, the disease, pollution, poison water, and everything else. The reefs are dying, our coral reefs are dying, the glaciers are melting, and all you have to do is see it with your own eyes. Climate change doesn't mean that winter is going to stop happening, and it's not going to snow, or that it's not going to rain, or it's not going to be summer. It means that our weather patterns are changing, and quite frankly, we're responsible for it, everybody. We're responsible for it. Okay? And the fact that we are absolutely doing minimal, taking baby steps to handle this crisis that threatens all of us is a pockmark on all of us as citizens. I want to reach out to each of you. So many of you have children, grandchildren. What is our legacy going to be to them? A society of poisoned water, dead forests, an uninhabitable planet and society? Is that what our generation is going to leave to our beautiful children and grandchildren and their children? We can do better. We must do better. We have to do better. And what we're seeing right now was hypothesized about going back close to 50 years, but it's really reached a pinnacle in the last 40. James Hansen, a scientist at NASA, first began talking about this problem in the 1980s. And the things that they hypothesized about are exactly the things that we're seeing now. Disrupted weather patterns, droughts more severe as time goes on, wildfires more severe as time goes on, hurricanes more severe as time goes on, tornadoes more intense as time goes on. This is exactly what they were talking about, and it's not in the future, ladies and gentlemen. It is happening right now. Right now it is happening. And what are we doing? What are we doing? Baby steps aren't necessary. Gigantic steps are what is going to be needed. The political will for all of us to get involved, to face this crisis and beat it back for the sake of our grandchildren and children. I don't know how anyone can look themselves in the mirror and say, well, what we're doing is good enough. I guess we'll leave it to the next generation. I can't live with that. I feel a sense of shame that we haven't done more. And I look at my own self in the mirror and ask, what more can I do? And the first thing I think that we have to come to terms with in our society is, you know what? We're all hypocrites. And we all want to make a difference, but sometimes it's not easy and we can't. We got people that don't even want to get rid of plastic bags. Having a plastic straw is some kind of pride, a point of pride? Making a political statement? What? That you're stupid? You can see pictures all over the world, oceans being destroyed. I don't know, you don't even have to go. Just go down to the marina here and you can see a sign, don't eat these fish, because they're poisoned. They're full of mercury, cadmium, and all kinds of other industrial byproducts. We're poisoning our water, and we're leaving a legacy of destruction for the next generation. Please vote for candidates that support drastic action on climate change. And the question isn't how much it's going to cost us to do something about it. The real question is, what is it going to cost us if we don't do anything? And the price we're going to pay is the future for all of our children. This is Billy Martini for Rabble Rouser. From this side of the dirt, even with all this smoke and ash choking our air, we can still see the promised land from here. We'll see you the next time.